This is the MoneyShift Tesla Model 3. It's a 2022 rear-wheel drive model, and I've recently signed up for the near $200 a month full self-driving service. This gives you access to features only previously available if you sprung the $15,000 one-time Tesla full self-drive upgrade. Is it worth $200 a month? Let's dive in. One of the first features with this subscription is Summon and Smart Summon. This is where you have the ability to open your app and either direct your car out of a parking spot by pressing forward or backward arrows, think Hyundai's Smart Pack, or you can select the Come to Me feature where the car reads your GPS location and, you guessed it, comes to you. And it does so without a driver behind the wheel. That's right, my vehicle is driving right now without any... It stopped. Hey, I'm over here. Like, what is going on? Oh my goodness, this is going to take a while. Seems as though the Model 3 got a bit confused, and as a result, I had to just press the arrows after it stopped to manually force it to come closer and closer and closer. Yes, it only creeps at this speed. I understand why, and it... Oh God, it stopped again. All right, this just might be a party trick. I don't know if this has any real world value. Moving on to something that does have real world value, that is the traffic light and stop sign control beta. This is where your Tesla identifies where stop signs and traffic lights are and automatically slows down to a stop and goes while using AutoPilot. This works super well, and as you can see, the car even identifies the line. But the real meat and potatoes, the reason why you get this upgrade is for the highway capability. Now, as we merge onto the highway, the first thing we have to do is engage AutoPilot. In the Model 3 and Y, you do this by double tapping down on the gear selector. The second step, assuming you have a location entered into the GPS, is to hit that icon, and that implies that the car is now navigating on AutoPilot. What that means in Tesla speak is that this car will not only navigate some on-ramps and off-ramps, but it will request lane changes if it detects you could be going faster. Demonstrating that change here, you can see the car stuttered a bit and wavered and then completed the change. While this system largely works fine, it isn't perfect. Awkward scenarios with lighting can throw this car off, but by and large, it works just fine. One of the options you have is to manually select the lane change instead of having the car pick it for you. I'll demonstrate this right now. All you have to do is just turn the signal on, and then the car does the rest. And as you'll see, unlike the previous lane change, the car executes this one perfectly, smoothly, and with no issues. Check this out. Hands off the steering wheel. We're being attentive, but it does the lane change just fine. Now, coming up, I'm going to need to make an exit per my GPS. So let's see how the Tesla Model 3 navigates this off-ramp. It's not straightforward. This isn't just a turn to the right and exit. This off-ramp, I have to keep to the right, keep to the left, and then make my exit. And usually there's a lot of traffic right at that point. As we approach this exit on a beautiful fall day in New England, the car realizes that we can actually stay in this lane in order to make our exit. And that is good, because if it had changed lanes or done something a little bit different, then this could have been awkward, right? This could have created a scenario where the car's making a lane change, then making another one. But no, it realizes that we can stay right here in order to exit as we want to do without creating any problems. Now, the AutoPilot system that you know and love in the Tesla does a good job at registering when slower vehicles are in front of you and coming to a stop without seeming really drastic. Okay, so let's make this lane change up here. Let's follow this. Let's see what happens. As I noted before, the car understands that we can stay where we are in order to do this exit. So this one's a little more complicated. I'm excited to see how this shakes out. And again, I'm going to try to keep my hands as close to the wheel as possible. But remember, the car is executing all of this. I'm not actually doing anything other than remaining attentive in case something goes wrong. So it indicates indicates there, which is good, right? It indicates to traffic behind that we're taking this exit, and then staying in this lane, it indicates again that we are staying to the left. Again, that one isn't really needed, but I appreciate that it does it. Now, as we approach our exit, notice the amount of traffic coming on. This could get a little bit dicey. Now, the Tesla starts to indicate that we're making a lane change and then realizes very quickly that it needs to slot in behind this Durango and that the Audi behind us is giving us the room to make the lane change. And the car does it. That was executed really well. And as we take this off-ramp, the car slows down, and then the Tesla warns us that we're going to need to take control. Overall, this was really well done. Now, all of these scenarios aren't like this. This system isn't perfect, but that was a relatively difficult exit interchange that the car executed perfectly. The last part of this near $200 a month subscription from Tesla is AutoPark. Throw the vehicle in park, press start, and the car will put it in the space that it recognizes is open. While it's a little bit slow and clunky, the Tesla actually does a good job at getting in the space. It always is a little bit trippy seeing the wheel move so quickly without you actually doing it, right? It's very weird to see the car just quickly turn to the left, quickly turn to the right without you actually doing anything. Much like Summon and Smart Summon, however, this car creeps instead of going quickly for obvious reasons, which means, though, that I wouldn't use this in a crowded lot. Upon inspection, after the car tells us we're done, though, the Tesla actually did a really good job. There's adequate space on each side, but with all of that out of the way, all of it, okay, the gimmicks, the fun, the laughs, let's get back into the car for some final thoughts. So for $200 a month, what are you getting? Let's go through the full checklist. The first thing you're getting is Summon. That's where you can press a button on your phone and your car comes to you. As you see, it doesn't really work that well and it's a little slow. It's a party trick. I'm out. The second thing that you're getting is stoplight detection when you have AutoPilot engaged. Now, this does work really, really well. I got to give Tesla a lot of credit. It picks up stoplights, it picks up stop signs, and it addresses and stops and goes for them accordingly. But this isn't a system you should be using around town because it isn't the full self-driving beta. So as a result, I'm going to nix that too because it's not going to be something that you would pay $200 just to have. Now, what else do you get? You get AutoPark. Now, the AutoPark system works fine. You guys saw it. We're in an empty parking lot here, and it worked really well parking the car in between the lines. But it takes a long time to do so, and in a crowded parking lot, you'd be hard-pressed to use it because there'd be a lot of pressure around you. You're just better off parking yourself. So because of that, out for that as well. So why are you spending $200? Well, the biggest reason why you're doing so is for the auto lane change and for the on-ramp and off-ramp that this car can do. And I gotta be honest with you, my wife and I just did a road trip to South Carolina. We drove over 1,000 miles each way using this system, and both of us treated it very differently. I used the lane change with the car, so the car did everything. I just notified it when I wanted it to make a change, and I was relatively comfortable, and it definitely did help long journeys. My wife, on the other hand, she manually selected when the car would make lane changes because she found that oftentimes it was a little bit jittery, and as a result, it just didn't inspire that much confidence. So as a result, overall, what are my thoughts on this? Should you get this $200 a month subscription, the subscription that doesn't even include Tesla's $9.99 a month premium connectivity wrapped in? No. If you want that, you got to spend an additional $10. My overall review, guys, don't spend your money. Save your $200 a month. Get floor mats, get whatever other accessory you want that improves your life with this car, but do not get this system. It is not worth it. I am Thanasi. I'm spending money so you don't have to. This is Money Shift. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.